This week's feast,
the 10-year anniversary of Feast of Fiction and Skyrim. You might not believe it, but 10 years ago, that's right, 10 years ago, Skyrim came out for the first time. Now, since then, it's been released approximately 50 more times, but we're here today because something else really important happened a decade ago. Feast of Fiction, Episode 1, December 22nd, 2011.
this week's feast,
Sunlight Souffle! We started this entire channel because there was a recipe in a book in the original Skyrim and we were curious. Would it work if you made the recipe exactly how they wrote it? Or was it just a bunch of baloney written to fill out some space? Turns out, Skyrim did their homework. The recipe worked and this channel was off to the races. Now, if you asked me back then, hey Jimmy, do you think Feast of Fiction is gonna last as long as Skyrim? I would have said, hell no, because I figured Skyrim would stop being a thing in a few years. Well, turns out there are just as many fictional recipes as there are potential remakes and remasters of Skyrim, and I know I speak for both Ashley and myself when I say, holy cow, this has been quite the journey. Now, before I get too sappy, and I know some of you are already ready to switch videos, don't, because I need to say something genuine to everyone out there watching, including you. Thank you. Thank you for watching, supporting, being a part of our community and Patreon, and commenting on our videos over the last decade. Thank you for sticking by us when we weren't as consistent, when we made bad recipes, when we made good ones, and also when we went through major life changes. Balancing a YouTube channel on top of everything else that happens in life has been one of the greatest challenges of my career, and to still stand here today and talk to everyone, it means a lot. So thank you. So let's talk about food, because that's why you're watching, right? Food, recipes. Today we are paying homage to 10 years of Feast of Fiction and Skyrim by making a full course menu of food from the game, using, of course, the ingredients that they tell us to. First up, we're recreating hot vegetable soup, and we promise it is 100% gonna look better than whatever the heck this is. I guess certain things in games will always look unappetizing, even when they get remastered. For dessert, we have fresh lavender dumplings, which in the game looks kind of like the sandworm from Dune if it had its mouth closed. So buckle up, feasters, and get your mouths ready to water. We are cooking up a 10-year Skyrim feast right now. Our hot vegetable soup has a lot of ingredients, and in the game it says we've got cabbage, potatoes, leeks, and tomatoes. Well, cut them all up, and bam, they look like this. Nice, that was easy. Cooking this soup is actually absurdly simple. It just takes a little bit of time and love, like any good soups. In a large pot, put some olive oil over medium heat, then add in your leeks, carrots, and celery, and mix the entire thing thoroughly and saute it for about 5 minutes. Then add in the cabbage and tomatoes and continue mixing on medium heat. You'll notice that the ingredients we put in first take the longest to soften, which is why they go in first, duh. Once your vegetables have all sort of reached that same soft state, drown the whole thing in vegetable stock. Mix, 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 mix it up, then add in the cubed potatoes and Italian seasoning. Now, the potatoes themselves will take a bit of time before they're tender enough to chew through, and we want all of the flavors to mix together, so you're gonna bring the whole pot to a simmer and leave it there for 15 to 20 minutes. While this is going, we're gonna make some fire salt, which in the game turns the vegetable soup into hot vegetable soup. Get it? Fire, salt, spicy salt, okay. This is a pretty simple process. Grind up the pepper flakes in a grinder or mortar and pestle, and then just combine it with your salt. Mix it around and store this in a separate airtight container, and you can use it for tons of other recipes. All right, back to our soup. Season it with that fire salt and optionally some pepper. Give it a stir and a taste, and it's ready to go. Our dessert course for this recipe are Lavender Dumplings, which is a recipe introduced in the Hearthfire expansion. Kick this recipe off by combining raspberries, lavender, sugar, and lemon juice in a small saucepan and set it to medium heat. You need to consistently and constantly stir this mixture until it reaches a rapid boil, then quickly remove it off the heat and let it cool. Now let's prepare the pastry. First, incorporate milk and lavender in a small saucepan and heat it up until bubbles start to form. Set this aside to cool. In a large bowl, incorporate flour, baking powder, and salt. Add in a 1/4 cup of melted butter and continue to mix well. Next, add in vegetable shortening and keep mixing it together until a crumbly texture is achieved. Pour in the lavender and milk combination that's now been cooled off and knead the dough. Now, we want the end result of the dough to be somewhat dry, but not constantly cracking when we're about to shape and bend it, because these dumplings require us to fold it in on itself. Pour out the dough, continue to knead it, then use a floured rolling pin, roll out the dough so you can cut some squares out around it. You can mess around a bit with the sizes, but we found that around 3 to 4 inches for each side of the square results in the best dumpling. Scoop a dollop of your cooled raspberry mixture into the center of the dough square, then place cut raspberries over the mixture. Brush some melted butter around the surrounding sides, then carefully fold the corners of the pastry inwards to create the dumpling shape. Brush the exposed edges with milk or butter and pinch the edges of the dough in order to seal its contents. Like any dumpling, you're gonna run into big problems if you put too much filling in the center. The edges of the dough need to touch each other without anything else in between it, otherwise they risk falling apart and not sticking. Trust us, you don't want to make this rookie mistake. Start with less in the middle, and then add more if it's too empty. Now, once you've finished all the dough and the dumplings, place them onto a greased baking dish, brush some butter over the top, and bake until golden at 375 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. Definitely let these cool down before you bite them, because they're gonna be hot. And voila! Introducing the Feast of Fiction Skyrim Feast. This recipe has been 10 years in the making, and we are so happy to be able to bring it to life for all of you here today. Making videos for this channel has been an absolute joy and pleasure for both Ashley and myself, and we hope to bring you all many more recipes in the future. Skyrim is just the tip of the iceberg. So many amazing new adventures await in the kitchen and beyond. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Your support and viewership is what keeps us going. So thank you again from the bottom of our hearts. All right, Ashley, a big cheers and a big toast to you.
Yes.
To 10 years
Cheers,
of Feast
my
of Fiction.
friend.
And to
Yes.
you all watching. Cheers.
And you guys, and we're having some mead.
Very nice.
Wow.
10 years tastes very nice.
Have we ever had alcohol on the channel before?
Not that they've seen.
Not in 10 years.
I don't know. No, we made sangria, right? We made sangria
That's
for...
right. It's been an awesome 10 years.
It has. A decade goes by so quickly. I remember sitting in my kitchen, coming up with this idea for the first time. I remember meeting you at Disneyland and asking if you wanted to join in. I remember filming our first episode and thinking this show is only gonna go for like 20 episodes because then we're gonna run out of things to make. Boy, was I wrong.
Were you so wrong,
Yeah.
because we're still here, and we might still be here 10 years from now. Wow, can you imagine this?
Hey, you know, we've done a lot on this channel. We've made a cookbook. We have done so many brand deals with huge movies and all sorts of crazy things. And it's all really possible thanks to our amazing subscriber base, the people that watch and share our videos. So if you're one of those people, thank you.
Yes.
If you haven't subscribed, please do.
So cool to think about, and I just can't even believe we're at this landmark.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's already
pretty
here.
crazy.
So
Cheers.
cheers to you. I like this feast because it's nutritious. And when you've had a long day of filming, sometimes you just want to eat something really good for your body.
And we have lots of little additions too. I really can't wait to dig into this. Ooh. It's sweet and savory, my two favorite combinations.
Wow.
Delicious. Love a good raspberry.
This is awesome. How cute.
Can't say thank you enough to every single person that's been along with us the entire journey. Even if you joined us like 3 or 4 years ago, last year, last week even. Thanks so much for always being a part of the amazing Feast of Fiction experience. Your recommendations have helped power this channel for the past decade. That's crazy. 10 straight years of video making thanks to you sitting in the comments, letting us know what you want to see us make next on the show. And that is a huge reason why we're still here, because you know, I kind of ran out of ideas a long time ago, but you, the internet, our commenters, our community have not. And it's been really great engaging with you all on our Patreon as well, on our Discord. So thank you so much for being there and being a part of the overall experience and just being our friends too. I've gotten to know a lot of you more personally, and it's been awesome. I've been making content for a long time, so that connection is really valuable to actually know that the other person on the other side of the screen is someone that you can be friends with, even say hello to when you're visiting somewhere else across the world. It's an amazing experience.
It really is, and we can't thank you guys enough for being a part of it, for shaping the show, shaping our lives.
Yeah.
It's just been such a fun journey that, like Wim said, we could not have done without you guys. So we have the best community. I think we have the best community on the internet. The nicest, the most considerate, the
lovers.
most supportive,
Yeah.
foodies, and yeah, we wouldn't be here without you guys and your support. So thank you again so much, and we hope to be around for the next 10 years.
20.
And then it'll be
30.
20.
50.
Wow.
I don't know about 50, but I'm
That
down
is-
for another 10.
I mean, can you imagine us being like 80 years old? This week's feast.
Feast of Fiction has been through many evolutions, and we're looking forward to joining the next one with you all as well. She's still chewing, so I'm gonna keep talking. Y'all are great, you know, pretty awesome, pretty cool people out there, pretty cool chefs, pretty cool chef in the making, pretty cool community members, all the good stuff. Are you ready?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what your favorite feast has been in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, good call.
I mean,
Let
they've
us
been
know.
over, what, 300 or something? Like, some really big number.
A lot of episodes, a lot of views. Let us know what your favorite feast is. Let us know if you want us to recreate anything in the future as well, because this is obviously an homage to our first episode, and we've got plenty of those early episodes where the recipes were not perfect and could use some updating.
That's right, and we are not ashamed to go back and reinvent them.
Big hearts from us to you, and let's combine the heart. Bing! Yay! Thanks so much for tagging along for this journey. We hope to see you for the next decade as we continue down the Feast of Fiction.
That's right. See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.